Two goals today. Number one, build the perfect 10 disc all Innova bag to help me shoot the best round possible. And number two, we're going to use that bag to hopefully shoot a legit, respectable MA1 rated round out here at the very challenging Indian Hills Disc Golf Course. Should be a blast. So let's jump into what's in my all Innova 10 disc bag. Now, as you guys know, if you've seen my in the bags, I don't throw a lot of Innova. So I had to go to the Innova Throwers Paradise, Play It Again Sports. The Play It Again Sports in my area might as well be the Innova Pro Shop. This place has literally every Innova disc you could ever imagine. This is definitely not sponsored. They just got a lot of Innova discs, so that's where I went. Now let's start with putters. Innova makes a ton of putters, but I wanted to go with the old classic. We have the AVR. This is in the DX Proto Glow plastic. I don't actually know if this is gonna be the best choice for me personally. I feel like the Zero is probably a better comparison to the Pixel that I've been throwing for a couple years now, but the AVR is the quintessential Innova disc, so I felt like gotta go with the AVR. Lots of pros putting with the AVR. And I heard you love AVRs, so we got a second AVR here for our throwing putter. This is the AVR X3. Now this is a disc that I already owned. This is the first run Star Plastic Edition. Slightly overstable throwing putter. I think this is gonna get a lot of use from me today. A lot of my upshots, even off the tee a few times probably. And if we wanna step up in stability just a bit, something with a bit lower glide, we have the Pro Pig. This is a Ricky Wysocki one from back in the day. This is another disc that I already owned. Innova has a few good overstable approach discs. Like, I could have gone with the Toro as well, but the Pig is the one that I'm most familiar with, so Pig it is. Now, if we make our way over to the mid-ranges, we have the Star Fox. Now, I did a review of the Star Fox a few weeks ago. It's Innova's newest disc. It is a very understable mid-range. This is a really wooded course that we're gonna play today, especially on the back half. So it's really important to have something that I can scramble with, something that I know is gonna turn regardless of how much power I put on it. And then if we want something that's just straight, we've got the Mako 3. Somehow did not own a Mako 3. I've thrown them a handful of times and really enjoyed them every single time. This one's in the Champion plastic, and this one's stunning. This is probably the disc I am most excited about today. Super straight, super glidey, should treat us pretty well. In our sixth disc, we're gonna move on to the fairway drivers. This is my straight to slightly understable choice. It's just the Leopard. Straight up Leopard, not the Leopard 3. This is in the Pro plastic. I figure the Pro might give us a little bit more understability right out of the box compared to like Star or Champion, especially for like hyzer flip style shots. Leopard probably gonna be one of my go-tos. Then if we want something a little bit more overstable, I got this Sophia Donachie Eagle L. Now I did a review on this disc as well. This is a new disc this year. This is in the Proto Glow plastic. Could have gone T-Bird or Eagle here, but I definitely have more experience throwing Eagles, so it's an easy choice. Now, if we want something beefy, something we know is always going to come back no matter how much anhyzer we put it on, we got the classic Champion Firebird. Got this one out of the used bin. 170 grams, but should still be plenty overstable for all of our forehand needs. This is another disc that probably gonna be using a lot. A lot of scrambling on this course, maybe even a forehand roller. That usually means something bad's happened though, so hopefully not. Then we move up to distance drivers. We got another Innova classic. It is the Star Destroyer. This is the Evelina Solonen Swirly Star version. 168 grams, but holy cow. This is one of the most understable destroyers I have ever thrown. Just super mega flippy. So it's gonna be great for really long distance flights. And finally, our 10th disc is this Calvin Heimberg Halo Star Destroyer. This one's max weight. This one I also got out of the used bin, but it is super beefy. So if I need some distance on my shot, but I still want something that's gonna get a hefty fade, probably a big skip, then Halo Destroyer is the choice. So that's my 10 discs. If you have a different ideal all Innova 10 disc bag, let me know what that would be down below in the comments, or if you just have some favorite Innova discs that I should be bagging today, maybe I'm gonna regret not having them. Let me know what those are down below. So now the goal is to use these 10 discs to shoot the best round possible. I looked at some past tournament results, and an even should get us around a 940-ish rated round out here. Of course, PDJ ratings, there's a lot of variables, but I really feel like even is a great score out here. Even is also a 220 rated U-Disc round, which I feel like that's pretty comparable to like a 940-ish rated PDGA round. So with all that said, let's go do this thing. Here we go, the journey begins. Hole 1, 315-foot par 3. Now the hole's designed to take this right gap, but it's a bit of a low ceiling. You really need something overstable to fade into the left where the basket is. So we're going to go over top, which is a much more direct route. Pretty easy to execute in comparison. We take Mako 3, something we know is not going to fade a lot. And I absolutely love the throw out of the hand, get the height perfect, but I kind of fluff it. I don't give the Mako 3 the respect it deserves, and as a result, we lay up for par. But pars are fine today. The line is even, so pars cannot hurt us. Which brings us to hole 2, 258-foot par 3. The disc golf overlords were very merciful on me today, giving me the short pin position. We're going Halo Destroyer because we want something that guarantees a huge skip to the right, because this hole is in the tree line. It's kind of a blind shot. You're just kind of trusting the fact that you're going to throw about 250 feet before cutting in. And we are left with a 20-ish footer. We almost hit this corridor to get right near the basket, but we come up just a little short. So we're behind this tree, and I'm forced to straddle out, which I don't love the straddle putt. We're going to give it a go. And we can it. Getting the first birdie of the round. Feeling good. That is going to set us up very well for the rest of the round here. Hole 3, 416-foot par 3. It's a long one. We're taking the Star Destroyer. You got to go high and to the right. And really the one mistake is to overturn it. But this Star Destroyer only knows one thing, and that is to turn. I mean, this Destroyer just turns and turns and turns. Finally, we get a little bit of fade at the end, but it's too late. We are behind this tree, and there's just not a lot we can do. I got to do this big old lean out here, trying not to pull my groin, and I'm trying to do the pitch out with the forehand AVR X3, and it's okay, but we're kind of obstructed now. We got like a 25-ish footer here. No simple putt. I'm looking left. I'm looking right. I don't know where to go. I decide to go to the right side. Does it pay off? No. No payoff. That is the highs and lows of Indian Hills. We go from under the line back to the line at even with the bogey. This is a weird hole. 340-foot par 3, way dog-legged to the left. So we got to hug this left tree line. And you got to get a lot of height under this to really maximize the amount of time you're in the air and just to get left enough. This is a hole that I haven't played a whole lot, so I wasn't really sure how to attack it, but I'm happy with this. This is like a 45-footer for birdie. We'll take it. And so close. Out of the hand, I thought that was in. I was loving life out of the hand. But we get par. Again, par is fine. Not going to complain about it. Hole 5, 313-foot par 3. We're going with the big ol' spike hyzer. The fairway is actually to the left, but I think the spike hyzer is just way easier on this pin position. But out of the hand, I just knew this was not great. I needed to hug that center tree line more. And it just has so much turn that it just pushed us to the right. So we end up underneath this tree. Again, trying not to pull my groin. But hey, we got the easy cleanup putt for par. Hole 6, 335-foot par 3. This is a tricky one. You got to bend this to the right on Anheuser and then have it fade back. So we go Eagle L, and I actually executed this shot great, but I pulled it a little bit to the right and we hit one of these several guardian trees, which means we are left with an upshot. I'm trying to decide between AVR X3 or Pig. We go AVR, and I just sail it. You can see me trying to say, hey, get down, but we're left with like a 25-ish footer, but I got ice in my veins. I'm Patrick Mahomes with 13 seconds left against the Buffalo Bills, and I'm tying this game up. Except no ice in these veins. We take the bogey number 2 of the front 9. You hate to see it. But hole 7 is very birdieable, 268-foot par 3. I go Firebird here. We need something that goes straight and then fades. I aced this on my last video, if you saw that video about the FD2. And this was fine, but one thing I noticed with this Firebird is it kept going longer than I thought it would. It would hold straighter than I expected. I think just the fact, oh, and we doink it. And we doink it for par. You hate to see it. But anyways, I think the fact that this Firebird, which I'm about to throw again, is so beat in and a little bit underweight, I think it's just holding the straight angle, the flat angle that I put it on, longer than I expect. Like, I put this on hyzer, and this just goes deep of the pin. So I kind of got to figure out this Firebird a little bit more. I probably should have just got a new one. That would probably remedy my situation, because this almost feels more like a Thunderbird flight so far. So that's kind of getting in my head, but that's okay. We'll take par here. We went long, got caught up in that tree. Hole 9, 351 foot. Par 3, gotta hug the left tree line and get pretty far left. But we yoink it, and we go right. We get kind of lucky to get the skip still. Get to the left. That at least gives us an easy cleanup for the par. We got this jump putt here that we gotta make through this heavily wooded area. We come away with the par. So we're still up +1. We gotta get back to our line, and this is a hole where we can do it. 237 foot par 3, bends off to the right. It's a pretty simple forehand, but a very tight gap. So for me, that's a bad combo. But hey, I hit it. Make it look easy, smooth as can be. Get a little skip to the right, and we're left with another like 20-ish footer. I'm not giving myself any tap-ins today. We got to work for every single putt. Another straddle putt, and we can it. The straddle king is here. But we can't celebrate too much because we're at hole 11, 357 foot, really challenging par 3. We got to have a lot of turn and then come back at the very end of the flight. We're going to go Star Fox because I know that guarantees us a lot of turn. We want to bend this, keep on bending. And it was a pretty good shot, but we hit a tree early. So we basically have to lay up here. It's kind of a danger putt, so we're just going to lick our wounds, take the par, no problemo. We're at even. We're happy again. 295 foot par 3. This tee sign is completely fraudulent because this is an aggressive dogleg to the right. Hard hole to actually get inside of circle 1 off the tee pad. You basically have to throw like a backhand roller, but our chip shot puts us in great position for a very, very easy forehand upshot, which I completely yoink and do terribly. And you just hate to see it. Completely unforced error. Try to salvage something out of nothing. But, yeah, bogey. Absolute brutal bogey to take. And now we're at hole 13, 279 foot, par 3. I hate this fairway because the tee pad is not pointed down the fairway. You have to get to this very front left side. Always gets in my head. And that was a low point. This was definitely the point in the round where I was stressing, because if we go to +2, I mean, it's going to be really hard to get 2 birdies in the next 5 holes. But that was an okay upshot. Can we save par? We're left with like a 20 to 25 footer here. It's a little nervy. I mean, we should be able to drain a 25-foot putt, but we've not been doing them consistently yet. But we can it. You love to see it. I'm pumped to save par there. Save the round. Now we got hole 14. 198 foot par 3. This is the definition of poke and pray. You just got to throw something on hyzer and just get through this wall of trees. But I absolutely juice this sucker for no real reason. But again, me and this Firebird, I just keep expecting it to not go as far as it keeps going. I mean, that was more on me, for sure. I'm not going to just blame the Firebird, because I actually really like how this Firebird flies. But I just keep expecting it to be lower glide, more overstable. And this is a very easy forehand shot that I just yoink it to the left. Just pull it. And this was a pretty gettable birdie. But now we're left with, you know, like a 60-foot semi-throw-in, which, of course, I'm not going to cash that. And we take par. So now we're stressing because we got 3 holes to play, and we need a birdie. This is birdieable. It's short, 220 feet, but it is so tight. I mean, it's just trees everywhere, and the line is probably like 12 feet wide. But I cash it.
I mean, I absolutely lace this shot. I love it. But almost lace it too good, because we make it past everything and we're left with a circle's edge putt. Why is everything a circle's edge putt today? I just cannot put this inside. Ugh. Oh gosh. I mean, that one was hard to watch in this post-produced video. That was hard to watch. Another doink. Just me and the AVR are not getting along. You know, I don't want to blame it on the AVR because it's an all-time great putter, but for me, it just feels foreign. You know, I knew that was going to be the biggest challenge about today's round, was just kind of figuring out a new putter on the fly. But hey, we par 17, which was going to be a really tough birdie. Hole 18 is very birdieable. We got to go really understable off to the left. Star Fox. You'll love to see it. This is a beautiful shot. Gets all the way to the right, and I am pumped. Except we are now in this clump of trees. This was devastating because if you just go a little bit further or a little bit shorter, you're open. Like, it's just this one clump of trees inside circle one. Super frustrating, but we're here. I can still make the putt. I can still get back to even. Get to the line. Can I do it? And no. Oh gosh, I mean, yeah.
And what a round that was. Finishing at +1. Not the worst thing in the world. One off of the line of even that we set. Putting green was not great today. I think I missed 3 or 4 edge of circle, 25 to 35 foot type putts. You know, the AVR, it's a great putter. I don't necessarily know if it's for me. Should have done better with it, but you know, some days that's just how it goes. My favorite disc out of the bag that I was throwing today, definitely the MA1. I love the fact that I can still throw this hard and know it's not gonna turn over. I kind of had to figure that out. I wasn't 100% trusting it at the beginning of the round. I just love the fact that it holds the angle you put it on for so long. So long. Absolutely love that. My biggest mistake in bag construction was definitely the fact that I didn't put enough mid-ranges in the bag. This is a course with a lot of like 300 feet and in tee shots, more of a technical course than anything else. And because of that, we didn't really use our distance drivers at all. Like I used, I think, both the Destroyer and the Halo Destroyer one time. And I think on just your average course, these make a lot of sense. On this course, it didn't make a lot of sense. I was hurting for like a Rock 3 or Rock X3 type disc. In the future, if I was to do this again on this course, I'd probably ditch the Halo altogether. Maybe even ditch the Leopard. Like, there's just so many holes where you want mid-range over any sort of fairway or distance driver. Even though I love the Leopard, I really like how this flies. I think that if I ditch both of those and add more diversity in my mid-ranges, get the full spectrum of stabilities, that would have helped me out a ton. Or even really just having a throwing putter that's more understable. I didn't really want to throw the AVR all too much. It's just a little bit deeper and very rounded on the edge. For me, that's not super comfortable for throwing. Whereas if I had like an Invader, just like a straight throwing putter, or even just like a really beat up like AVR 3 or AVR X3, something like in DX or XT where you beat it up, it gets that turn. I think that would have helped out a ton on some of these holes where I just felt like I was going past the basket, going way too straight for way too long. Even with this, like my Champion Firebird, I was just going past the basket. So all that really just came down to disc selection and the fact that my bag probably wasn't perfect. Not for this course, at least. With all that said, had a great time out there, a lot of fun. Really liked all the discs that we threw today. This is definitely a departure from my normal type of content. So if this is something you liked, maybe you want me to do it again with a different brand, let me know down below in the comments. And again, let me know your favorite Innova discs that I should have been bagging today that would have helped me hit that line. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you consider liking and subscribing. That'd be awesome. You can also follow me on UDisc community at Flying Fajita or Instagram at Flying Fajita Disc Golf. As always, guys, I love you. Take care. I'll see you next time.